At least 5 Palestinians, including 2 children, killed in drone strike on displaced persons camp near Khan Younis. What happened? On December 4, 2025, the 55th day since the ceasefire began in Gaza, an Israeli drone strike hit tents sheltering displaced families in the Al-Mawasi area near Khan Younis, killing at least 5 Palestinians, including 2 children. Witnesses and local health officials described scenes of panic and chaos among residents, many of whom had already been displaced from earlier fighting, as drones struck makeshift shelters. Wider pattern of ceasefire violations. The strike is the latest in a series of air and drone attacks reported since the truce came into effect. Local sources say similar strikes have continued across several areas of Gaza, targeting both camps for displaced people and neighborhoods believed to be relatively safe. Other air strikes earlier this week reportedly caused additional casualties, further intensifying scrutiny over alleged ceasefire breaches. Humanitarian impact. The victims of the Mawasi strike were internally displaced persons, likely families who had fled previous violence. The attack highlights the extreme vulnerability of civilians in Gaza, particularly children, who remain at risk despite declared ceasefire agreements. Medical sources report that hospitals and emergency responders are overwhelmed, complicating efforts to treat the wounded and manage rescue operations. Local and international reactions. Humanitarian observers and civil defense teams condemned the strike, arguing it violates the ceasefire and international norms intended to protect displaced civilians and children. The renewed violence raises serious questions about the enforcement of the ceasefire and the protection of civilians in conflict zones. Why this matters? The incident underscores the fragility of the ceasefire, even weeks after its announcement, and the ongoing danger faced by displaced families. It draws attention to the human cost of the conflict, especially among the most vulnerable groups, children, families, and those already displaced. The repeated attacks deepen concerns that Gaza's population remains insecure despite political agreements, and that the civilian toll may continue to rise.